Hello everyone, and thanks for hanging out with me. This is my wife Cindy, and we're in the Smart #1 Brabus edition, and we just drove for 20 minutes, and I wanted to know what she thinks about the car.
Okay, so like Chris said, I've only been in this car for 20 minutes. I looked at it for maybe, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes before we drove. So this is not an in-depth review or my opinion. It's just my first impressions of the car. The size is good, I think, for a small car. The roof is, what do you call it? Yeah, the roof is quite high. So yeah. So even though it's a small car, I feel like if somebody's super tall, they would have lots of space. They wouldn't have no problem. But the seat, if that person is big, is very small. So I'm tiny, and I basically take up almost the whole seat. So if I mean that's
so wide.
So wide, yeah. So yeah. So the height would be good, but I'm not sure that somebody who's really big would fit comfortably in here, especially because it's I don't know. There's not a lot of room here. Like I said, I'm tiny. I'm 150, so 150 centimeters or 5 feet, and I'm not cramped, but I feel like if I had extra stuff in here, I would feel cramped. The back seat is quite large. I had a quick look at the trunk. The trunk is tiny.
Very tiny.
It's super tiny. You would have a hard time if you went away for the weekend. You have basically no space.
There's a second floor, but
I looked under that too, and there's not a lot.
No, that's true.
So the trunk. I'm basically comparing this car to our ID3. I've driven with other cars, but I know obviously our car more. So I find that the trunk space is really small. There's storage space, but I feel cramped. So everything, I like the fact that you can close everything, so it looks nice. Everything is tidied up, exactly. But I feel like it's very, I don't know. If I wanted to put something down here, I feel like it's awkward. So if you don't travel with lots of stuff, I think it would be fine. But for us, I know that we always have a ton of crap, especially I do. I would feel like I would feel very cramped in here. Okay, to go to the seat, that's always an issue for me. Of course, it's too long, like it always is with every car, but it's round. And it's round, it's round the whole, so of course it's too long, but it's not that bad. It's one of the better seats, I would say, for me. Because it is softer, and because the whole thing is round, so I don't feel like there's something super hard digging into my legs, so it's actually quite comfortable. I had the seatbelt on, obviously. Seatbelt height and everything is okay for me. I have no complaints there.
You can adjust it.
Yeah, I can adjust it. That's good for the height. So I sat in the driver's seat. I'm not allowed to drive this car, so I didn't drive it, but I did sit in the driver's seat, and I'm not sure, I couldn't say because I didn't drive it, but it's possible that I wouldn't need a pillow. It's possible. It's unbelievable how low that seat goes and how high it goes. I was totally surprised.
And what I see is that the disc
is low.
It's very low.
Yeah, it's very low.
Yeah. You sit very high in this car.
So I would have to drive it to see if I really, but I might not need a pillow, especially because the what do you call it? The front of the car is not so long. That it's very possible. And I like the heads-up display, that I can see the speed that I'm going without having to look down. But in comparison to our car, the ID3, I find this display thing here is super small.
It's very narrow.
It's very narrow.
Wide.
It's good that it's white, so you can sort of see it without directly looking at it. But I find it really small. One of the most important things to me in a car is how warm it is. This car is terrible. This is so. For me, you can't imagine how important that is to me to be warm. The seat heater was on for, I don't know, 10 minutes or before way longer before I even got in the car. It's off now. Yeah, it keeps turning off. And when I got into it, I had to turn it on. Anyway, the seat heater, Chris said that he notices a difference. I personally don't. I have super thin pants on right now. I find the seat heater just as bad as as Walter. I didn't. I don't notice a difference. Big difference though is how warm it gets. So I have it on my side at 27, and of course one of the first things I do is I test the heat, because that's for me amazingly important. First of all, I feel like it takes a long time before it actually does anything. So a couple of seconds. It's not a big deal, but whatever. Okay, so I had it on full for, I don't know, what, 10 minutes?
Yeah.
And I didn't find it warm at all. And there was when Chris had his side on 24, that's almost cold air coming out.
It's true. It's not 24 degrees in here.
It's not 24 degrees. So for me, that would be super negative.
Yeah.
The seat heater, whatever, it's the same. I couldn't complain about that. But the heat, I think is terrible. I would freeze to death in this car. I want it warm. And with it hot. And Chris dies when he drives with me. He usually drives without a jacket on.
My jammies.
Yeah. But this display thing, I think it's a good size. It was easy to navigate. I'm used to having the screen now. So for me, I would only ever really play with the music and the heat. And I did both, and both of them were no problem. Okay, and then...
You didn't mention this.
What about it?
So is this annoying? Is it childish? Is it weird? A lot of people find it totally childish, and why is there a fox the whole time doing something?
Huh, that's true. Actually, I didn't even notice I was paying attention to everything else.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, and then the loudness of the car. So, yeah, it's true. It is louder. For me, I had to ask Chris, why is it so loud? I wasn't sure if it was the tire sound. But when you're going 60, you don't notice anything, and then the second you go 70, it's loud. It's just, it makes a sound. And for us, we only usually ever really listen to music when we're on a road trip. So when we drive to work, it's super early in the morning. We don't have music on. We never have music on. I don't think it would bother me, but maybe if we did a long trip and we didn't have music on it, it could be a bit. It is quite loud.
And it's not just the motor. When you go a bit faster, over 100, even at 100, the wind noise and everything.
Yeah, it's just loud.
Yeah, it's just loud in here.
And we're a bit spoiled with Walter, because Walter's very, very, very quiet.
Nice.
And nice and quiet, yeah.
I like that. I want it.
Overall, I would think it's a good comparison car to somebody who doesn't want an ID3 or just from another company. I think it's okay. I like the steering wheel, that it's small.
Is it that small? Really?
Yeah, I found it smaller.
Huh,
yeah.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, but overall, I think it's okay. It's not bad. The seat is good. And if I could drive without a pillow, that would be nice too. But yeah, it's overall not that bad.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day and take care.
Bye.
Bye.